If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
Good fans listening in.
Well, it's good to have you. Give me the whole detail about the book. You wrote this book about the Super Bowl being in Indianapolis, and here it is, right?
Well, yeah, that's part of the. That's where I placed it. I knew that it was going to be in Indianapolis, so when I wrote it, I said, why not place it there? But it's a work of fiction. I wrote at the age of 85, the first work of fiction I wrote my entire life, and the main theme of the story is that a legendary sports writer uncovers that his hometown team coach has orchestrated a massive cheating plan to get to and win the Super Bowl game. But can he divulge it? Will it fly? Is he right? Will he be sued for libel? All those agonizing decisions. There's a lot more to it than that. There's some love story, some owner, coach, general manager relationships, the inner workings, and some humor too, I hope. Anyway, that's it, but it is fiction. Let me say that. I'm not accusing anybody of cheating.
I was going to ask you that. I was going to say, Coach, I mean, is there a little bit of... No, I know. You.
No, fiction. It's an intriguing idea.
Right.
I was an assistant for the great George Allen, coach, and George used to be paranoid that somebody was filming our practices or had our locker rooms wired or was tuned into our meeting rooms. So that gave the spark to the idea.
Yeah, I was just going to ask. I mean, we're so used to hearing former coaches, former players pen their autobiography or have someone write their autobiography with them. But this being a work of fiction, was this something, Coach, that you had in your mind a long time ago? And I was just going to ask. You just mentioned it. Did you take a lot of your personal experiences from being a coach and being around the NFL to kind of cultivate those ideas for your novel?
All right. First of all, yes. I was an English and a history major in college,
okay.
and I enjoyed great writing. Charles Dickens, I just idolized him way back as a high school student. So I put aside all through my coaching career potential plot lines, character studies, interesting scenarios, said someday I'd like to write a work of fiction. Now that is not like writing nonfiction. It is a lot tougher, a lot tougher. To answer the second part of your question, many of the characters in the book are composites of people whom I knew in the league. It's the quirks of maybe some of the coaches and general managers and owners, their reactions to items like that. Yes, my experiences did weigh heavily in structuring some of the fictional scenes in the book.
How about this game today? Not the Super Bowl, but the game in the NFL, Marv. Are you amazed at how much it's changed, how fast it is, how it's offense, offense, offense? And of course, you guys had a nice offense in Buffalo, but are you surprised at how much this game has changed in the last couple decades?
Am I surprised? No. Am I aware? Yes. And it evolves, and everything evolves, whether it's journalism or medicine or technology or football. And it tends to swing back and forth between offense and defense. I can remember, when I'll tell you how old I am, when the T formation came out. Oh, that was just an absolute renovation of the game. And then somebody came up with a 3-4 defense. Golly, here's 4 linebackers blitzing at me. And the defenses took over. And then it swings. And before today's wide open game where the points are mounting up, there was a while where the zone blitz had been brought into effect, and it was confounding offensive coaches, and offenses were struggling with a lot of turnovers. And I think you'll see it swing back and forth. But the fans like offense, and I keep saying it, offense sells tickets, defense wins games, and kicking wins championships.
Yeah. We're not going to ask you about that one. Not yet, anyway.
You just mentioned kicking, and obviously in Baltimore, Billy Cundiff came up short, the 32-yard field goal he pulled wide left, and that's why the Ravens aren't in Indianapolis this week. But as much as we have the disappointment in Baltimore and being around the team, talking to the players, talking to John Harbaugh, you went through 4 straight years losing a Super Bowl. What was that like, just going through that every year, especially you get to year 3 and 4? I mean, you're that close, that you're just so close to grabbing that trophy, only to come up a little bit short. I mean, do you still have nights where you wake up in the middle of the night and just thinking, oh, if we had only done that?
I don't still have those kind of nights, but I did have them. And for a while, no. When you lose the Super Bowl game, after as hard as you've worked and as dedicated as you've been to get there, yes, for a while it's devastating. But there's a period where you should mourn, yes. Then but you don't keep lying there in the fetal position and whimpering. Yeah, that's the real loser, the guy who just gives up because he lost. What you do is, first of all, you say, what could we have done differently? What should we have done differently? You own up. Then you recognize the good. Look at these people in our team that we work with. Look at the Jim Kellys and Bruce Smiths and Andre Reeds that I'm going to have an opportunity to work with. Then you make a plan, and then you go to work on it. Because a great idea, according to Ralph Waldo Emerson, is just a job half done. Then you go to work on it.
Was Jim Kelly underrated? Tough to say that a guy in the Hall of Fame underrated, but I always thought he was.
Well, I understand that, and I spoke with someone else on Media Row today who quoted a former player in the league who asked who's the greatest quarterback he ever faced. Was it Marino or Elway or Montana? The guy said Jim Kelly was the one I feared the most.
Well,
defensive back Glenn from the Patriots, yeah, or from the Houston then Oilers that made that comment.
One of your other former players, Andre Reed, Hall of Fame finalist. Give us your thumbnail sketch on Andre Reed and why you think he might belong in camp.
Okay, Andre Reed, does he belong in the Hall of Fame? I think without question, and he is a finalist, and I hope he makes it. When Andre retired, he was the third most prolific receiver in the history of the game, yards. Okay, that's only part of it. There has been no one in the history of the game who is better at yards after the catch than Andre. There was no one better coming across the middle more courageously than Andre Reed. His nickname by his teammates, he was a quiet, rather modest guy. His nickname was Yak, and it wasn't because he talked, it was yards after catch. And I think he belongs in. Yeah.
What was your nickname, Coach? What they call you?
We're not allowed to use profanity on the radio, so I'll have to bow out of that.
I hear you. So the book is out. It's called Between the Lies by Marv Levy. Great coach, and now evidently a great author. So looks pretty good. Looks like it might be something to check out. Maybe you're looking for a good gift for Father's Day. Available at Amazon.com, most area bookstores, and e-platforms such as iPad, Kindle, and Nook. I have an iPad, so maybe I should get it. And the book is published by Ascend Books. Between the Lies, maybe the first ever coach author of a novel.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Unless Ernest Hemingway coached.
I don't know about that.
I doubt it.
Great. Hey, Marv, thanks for stopping by.
Oh, my pleasure.
Have fun on Radio Row, and good luck with the book.
Thank you very much. Thanks. A pleasure to talk with you and with the great fans of Baltimore.
We'll see you soon. Thanks.
Thank you.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.